Loose, baggy clothing doesn't flatter anyone, no matter what their body type is. And make no mistake, this applies to jeans. Now I get it, you've already spent the money. You've got a pair of jeans that you like the wash, you like the overall color, you like the style. They're just a bit too loose, right? Now the good news is that you don't need to throw this denim out. Nope, we can salvage these jeans. With a sewing machine and a little bit of knowledge, you can taper the legs of the jeans so they fit perfectly in no time. So here are the tools you're gonna need. A sewing machine, sewing pins, safety pins, a fabric pencil or chalk, and scissors. Step number 1, measure and pin. Now there are 2 methods that you can use to get the right measurements. The first method is to use an existing pair of jeans that you own that fit perfectly. Now the jeans you're going to adjust. You want to turn them inside out and then lay your perfect fitting pair on top. Now for your information, there are many ways that you can actually slim up your jeans. You can slim them from the inside seam, or you could actually slim them on the outside seam. We're going to keep this simple. I'm going to show you how to adjust your denim using the inseam. At the end of the day, the end result is just as good, and if you make any mistakes, it's going to be much less noticeable when you make the adjustment on the inseam. So taking your 2 pairs of denim and then lining up the outside seams and the crotch, you then trace along the inside seam with a fabric pencil or chalk. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and pin the fabric in place to keep it from moving. Make sure the pins will be pointing away from you so they'll be easy to remove while you sew. Now, if you don't have a perfect fitting pair of jeans to use as reference, you will need to figure out how much fabric to remove by putting them on. So turn the jeans inside out and put them on. Now go around putting safety pins on the inner seam until it fits as snugly as you would like. Now make sure to move around so you know that they're not too tight. What you don't want to do is sit down and rip the seam. Now once you've got the pins in place, take off the jeans and lay them on a flat surface. Now you're going to trace along the line of safety pins with a fabric pencil, and then make sure the taper smoothly transitions into the crotch or upper leg. An abrupt transition is going to leave dimples and you don't want it. Now switch out the safety pins with sewing pins and you are set. Step 2, let's sew. Now you want to choose thread that closely matches the color of your jeans. You want it to blend into the fabric. Now you're going to use a straight stitch for this seam, and you want to go with the 2.5 millimeter stitch length. Now I do advise switching out your universal sewing needle for one specifically designed for denim. Now the universal needle can work in a pinch, but understand it's more likely to break when sewing through a tough fabric like denim. Now you want to make your first few stitches and then go make a couple of back stitches. The back stitch locks in the thread and prevents your stitch from coming undone. And as you're going along, make sure to sew in an even, straight line. You don't want to zigzag back and forth. Simply sew along the line you drew with the fabric pencil, removing the pins as you go. And don't sew over the pins. They can push the fabric out of line if they hit the presser foot, or they can even break your needle if they get hit directly. Now if you're new to sewing, use a slower speed setting so you don't lose control. And if you're more experienced, try a higher setting to speed up the process. Add a couple more back stitches once you get to the end, and then repeat the process for the other leg. Once you're finished, turn the jeans right side out and then try them on one more time to check the fit. And if you're not happy, hey, you can start over. You could actually use a seam ripper tool to go through and remove the stitches and start again. Step 3, tidying up. Once you're satisfied with how the jeans look, now it's time to clean up the inside. First up, you want to take a pair of sharp scissors and cut off the excess fabric. Now you want to make sure to leave about 1/4 to 1/2 inch for seam allowance. You also don't want the new edge to fray. One trip to the washing machine without taking care of this, you're going to have loose threads all over the place. To keep that from happening, you want to use a zigzag, or what's known as an overlock stitch, along the edge of the fabric to seal it. Run the stitch along the entire fabric edge, using a few back stitches at the beginning and end to keep it from coming undone. And boom, just like that, gents, you now have the perfect pair of fitting jeans. And guess what? You can use the same exact technique to taper the legs of your other trousers, to include chinos and dress slacks. But what to do if your jeans are too long? They need to be hemmed. Well, gents, check out this video right here where I show you 2 easy ways to hem your jeans and get the perfect length.